Hey everybody, this is Phreak for WCReplays.com bringing you an audio commentary, and this is going to be on an Orc versus Undead match, a recent NGL game between Focus and Fav, if I'm correct. For what it's worth, this audio is going to be somewhat recorded live. Obviously, I'm not either of these players. This will be my first time watching the game because I feel that lazy that I'm not going to watch the game first. Yes, this is how much I love you guys. So the point of this game is just sort of, hey, I felt like doing an audio, let's do Orc vs Undead, why not? I really don't have any good pretext for this actually, because I don't have anything specific to talk about. So 1 minute, 1x speed for us all. They're going to unpause in 3, 2, 1, go. Some quick things to notice about the Orc side of the build order is you'll notice that the burrow was finished before the altar. Now you could have started the burrow a little bit slower, sure, and gotten it finished exactly the same time, but the real point here is that while you build the altar right off the bat, you actually use one of your gold peons to build that burrow, and that's a lot of why that burrow is right there by the Great Hall. You basically take one of those peons that just return gold and just build a burrow right there. Other parts of the build order, you see that the barracks is up a lot, because what this does is it allows the Orc to have room to build his, like, look where these now three peons are chopping lumber. That's where you're going to put your tier 2 building. That's where you're going to put your Spirit Lodge or your Bestiaries. And if you cram your buildings down right up against the trees, you're going to have to chop down a lot of trees to make room, and typically you don't end up making room for yourself, especially if your opponent, for example, attacks your burrows and makes you repair, or anything else that takes your peons off of lumber. You typically don't have enough wood chopped down. So a couple of important things you see right there that Focus sent one of his peons out from his base way before he had 130 gold and 30 wood. That's just specifics of the build order. It's just things that you sort of practice and learn. One interesting thing here is that Focus is actually queuing up his 7th peon instead of saving it and getting the grunt earlier. I guess he doesn't really need the grunt. But you'll notice quick things right here. Blademaster sells his TP, buys the circlet, and notice that he just jams himself right up there against the troll, and these two melee ogres can't hit him. That's a very important thing about this builder. You'll notice that he gets the item, and he has to like move the map around to try to get the click on the item right there, but he gets it. You just sort of notice that the Acolyte hasn't yet died, but he's going to probably chase it with the Blademaster. The Grunt's just doing his thing, chasing the Death Knight down, and Focus isn't really worried about his peons dying. I don't think that's really going to be difficult to keep them alive because he has burrows. But mostly the Death Knight, while he could probably beat a Grunt 1v1, doesn't really want to waste all his time trying to kill it. That's a little bit ridiculous. So, yeah, there's the peon finishing his scouting. That's going to be running all the way across the map. If you look at Fav's side, you'll notice that his build order is special, a little bit special as well. That he's blocked off his peons with specific buildings. He's got the Tomb of Relics off on the right-hand side up against the trees, and he's got 2 ziggurats and a graveyard. And he's going to try to never chop down that one tree in the corner, right to the up and left of that graveyard, at least until he gets a new ziggurat there, because that'll make an opening. So we'll see how that plays out in the future. But for now, he's gonna try to not chop down that tree, even though it's technically the most efficient tree to chop down. It keeps his base build going. So there's some quick things there. You notice that Focus has teched and then started his 3rd grunt, and that's on the way. He starts I believe a burrow? No, he bought Boots of Speed. Okay, so he's not getting his 3rd burrow yet. He's actually getting somewhat of a late 3rd burrow because he has to shop for items. Additionally, just because of how the game played out, and this is not necessarily how Focus had planned this, but his shop is of course sort of collecting dust, and finally he comes back to buy a rejuvenation and whatnot. So finally healing himself now. Not a big deal though. I mean, he really doesn't have a lot of experience in the Blademaster. He's obviously crept a couple of camps out, but he really wants to get something bigger done. And you see here that Fav is actually creeping pretty hard, but Focus, just a very intelligent player, actually assumes where his opponent's going to be creeping. And notice that the grunts unfortunately reveal everything, so that's kind of dumb, but for whatever reason Fav doesn't coil steal the creep, so Focus does get the kill. He's going to chop down that skeleton right there. Just very intelligent play, noticing, okay, look, these skeletons are getting low. If I get that kill, I will get level 2, and so just good play there. I really think that Fav should have coil sniped, sure, that 2nd Null Warden, just especially when he saw the grunts there. When he saw, oh, hey, there's grunts here, maybe the Blademaster's here as well. Really, I think, was just an unintelligent play from Fav, but it's a small point, but it does mean 48 free experience and an extra level on this Blademaster, so we'll see. So Focus did make sure that he bought all the rejuvenation sort of items there, and that troll gets taken, and Fav even gets the item. I think that's kind of poor play from Focus, not assuming he'd get death coiled, but whatever. I really just think that's kind of just poor play. But So here we go. He's going to finish creeping this out, and you notice that because he has so many salves still left, he can salve up all those grunts and still have salves left over. And that's really why people buy 2 sets of salves. Even though it's very expensive, you don't need them all right away, you really do eventually use them all. So, Fob's just getting some creeping done. You see the little, the Blight Skull creeping, some kind of interesting choices there. He's got a lot of skeletons in the way that'll help him tank the creeps, and you just see him, just killing off these ogres for some nice experience. Focus, realizing that he has boots of speed, knows that he can right-click that Death Knight quite a bit. He knows that if he takes a lot of damage, he can just salve. He's got to wait for that last Fiend hit, and now he's going to salve himself. Just intelligent play, knowing that there's only one more attack coming. Death Knight will hit level 2 off of this next creep, and the Blade Master really can't do much because, again, he is dusted currently. And you notice that what Fob did there is he actually dusted pretty much early in that battle, knowing that he could keep the Blade Master from coming back for some time. But very intelligent play, folks, continuing to creep with these grunts. Primarily, he got level 3 here just because of that grunt creeping. And you notice that he's going for the Death Knight. He's not going for the creep. He's not waiting for that. He knows that he can probably kill the Death Knight if he tries really hard. He knows that he's brought the Death Knight down to 200 health, and he realizes that, no, okay, he's back in his base. It's going to be difficult. He's dusted, but Fob's going to let him get this creep kill. So, really some good play from Focus. He forced the hero back, and then doubled back for the creep kill. So, really, really nice stuff, and a really nice item drop as well. This is a lot of why Focus is going to be winning this game, of course. Now, the second thing you see is Focus' strategy is to go fast tier 3. Now, he started Fortress before he started anything else. He just, did that right away. And then the order of preference was, I believe, Bestiary, Altar of Storms, Spirit Lodge, or Bestiary, Spirit Lodge, Altar of Storms. I'm not really certain. I didn't look at that. And in fact, for you Orc players who really want to learn this, just watch the replay again and learn that one real quick. It's just a simple a build order to memorize. It's not too difficult. But the ordering of buildings does matter. I will point that out, that people generally order their buildings importantly. It's a conscious choice of when they build their stuff. So just keep that in mind. They usually have a rationale behind it. Now, sometimes this is map specific or matchup specific, but in general, they do have a reason to what they're doing. So just keep that in mind. And with that, it's worthwhile to learn what the player's doing. So here he goes with Null Brute, and that's going to be... Oh, he's going for the Death Knight some more. Even though he has a Potion of Healing, he has a lot of Windwalk stored up, and here we go. There's the potion usage, and just a critical strike and a lot of damage output. The Fiends are actually tanking him, getting in the way, so not as much damage as he might have hoped for on this Blade Master, but certainly he's doing alright. So, Clarity Potion usage. Gonna sit back for a bit. He's microing the... Sorry about that. He's microing a Shadow Hunter in his production there. And you can see just very standard Orc production, Shadow Hunter, Grunt, Raider, Walker. 4 Grunts, didn't lose any of them. He actually has not even researched the Grunt RAR Awesome training where they get bonus hit points and damage. And that's kind of interesting because he is against quite a number of Fiends. And now, yeah, Fob is going to be going for Destroyers and whatnot. And you can see a very nice build order from Fob. That statue is going to finish right as Black Citadel finishes, and he can research Destroyer form. Very nice stuff there. But still, I kind of feel like there's more Fiends than anything else, in addition to the fact that these Grunts can actually do some nice damage to these creeps with that upgrade, that they will be fairly useful. Granted, it's not difficult to creep, but still, he can creep slightly bigger camps, maybe do a little bit more than he could originally, but far be it for me to tell Focus how to play, and hey, there's the Grunt upgrade. So the rationale was simply he didn't have enough lumber stored up. He did intend on getting it, but again, the important thing was getting his hero and his other units out. That's the important thing, and I cannot argue with that in the slightest. The important thing was getting his hero and his other units out. So when he had the funds, he did go for it. He got it a little bit late because he had still lumber left over after starting the tech, but not a big deal. Now, the next thing you'll notice is that Focus has gotten his Orb of Lightning. He has all persistent items on his hero because his opponent doesn't have any stuns or ensnares, so he knows that he's okay with just Windwalking away. He doesn't need the Invulnerability Potion like you do against Human or against Orc, where you can get ensnared or slowed or Storm Bolted and stuff like that and actually get stuck in your opponent's army. So that's just a quick thing there for you who follow Orc. Know that the Invulnerability Potion is mostly a product of fighting against Orcs and sometimes Humans, and not so much about anything else. Occasionally it can be used against Elf because of Cyclone, but typically you'll have enough mana to get out. So, what else is going on? Well, Focus is going to continue creeping right here. And he's screwing up a little bit in that he's having his Raiders tank the creeps, but he doesn't have any healing salves left on him, so he kind of needs to use Chain Heal for all his healing. And even still, he kind of should have a more durable type unit tanking, because the damage type actually affects how much damage is split up amongst the other units. The Raiders taking the 50% bonus